All right, from that, let's now take you to a story about the upcoming El Nino rains, something that the country is, of course, expecting at some point this month. Remember, the Met Department said that these rains are set to begin in October and should take us through to December. And 15 out of the 23 arid and semi-arid counties will in fact bear the brunt of the predicted El Nino rains, in addition to others in low-lying areas of the Western and the Rift Valley region that are expected to experience flooding. Now, this follows a communique by the Ministry of East African Community and Arid and Semi-Arid Lands and Regional Development, indicating that the current forecast pointed to an over 90% likelihood of an El Nino with an above normal rainfall expected in various parts of the country in the coming days. And with the light showers already experienced in some parts of the country, residents from some of the marked Asal counties are dreading a repeat of the 1997 post-El Nino losses.
According to the Ministry of East African Community, Arid and Semi-Arid Lands and Regional Development, the onset of El Nino will lead to extensive crop damage, loss of livestock and massive damage of infrastructure, and a possible spike in waterborne diseases such as cholera, malaria and Rift Valley fever. This attributed to poor sanitation and lack of clean water, particularly among populations threatened by the flooding. But for communities living in the arid and semi-arid areas, the projected heavy rains are expected to cause more damage to those recovering from the losses incurred during the drought period that resulted from the failed 5 consecutive rain seasons that lasted until March this year. Baringo County is among the 15 Asal counties that has been marked as a possible hotspot area for flooding. Such has been the reality for residents of Ilng'arwa village, Ngambo location in Baringo South, a place prevalent to flooding, as they understand all too well the effects of El Nino. The memories of the 1997 flooding cannot be wiped away from their memories.
Kuna wakati ambayo El Nino ilifika, mbuzi ikasombwa zaidi ya mbuzi 1000 eneo hili. Kuna familia moja ilikuwa imepoteza watoto 3 na kuna familia nyingine ilipoteza mtoto kwa sababu ilinyang'anywa na maji. Wakati alifurika mtoto ilisombwa. Na tena mafuriko ni hatari, hata naendelea kutoa hata makaburi wakati ile.
Inaleta mvua nyingi sana, nalete maji. Hii maji inafurika, maji inakuja kwa wingi. Inasanyesha mvua, tuseme anaanza saa 6 ya mchana mpaka kesho tena. Ikinyesha mpaka saa 6 usiku. Ukifika saa 6 usiku inakuja maji ile, hata wewe utasikia akiguruma unastuka. Maji tunajaa kila pale.
The signs of the oncoming rain does not go well with them.
Tuko na hofu au tunastuka kwa ajili ya hiyo mvua tunatangaziwa inakuja. Na inakujanga inasababisha hasara nyingi sana. Anabebea watu mfuko, anabeba maboma, watu wanabaki bila makao, barabara hakuna, maji inafurika kila pahali.
They were slowly rebuilding their lives following the effects of the 2020 floods that came after Lake Baringo and River Perkera burst its banks.
Sisi swali letu ni tutaenda wapi this time round? Kwa sababu maji ya Lake Baringo ilikuwa imeshaanza kusonga na tumeingia huko kulima. Hata watu moja wameingia kuishi. Sasa kama El Nino nayo tena inakuja in the way it is being described, sisi ile maji ya Lake Baringo sinaweza kuongezeka tena. Alafu River Perkera itaanza kufurika tena.
The residents say they are not adequately prepared to handle the likelihood of flooding.
Bado ni tunasikia tu kwa matangazo kuna El Nino anakuja. Kwa hivyo bado hatujaona yale ambayo iko ambayo imeendelea.
Sisi El Nino to us is a threat. Tunaomba tu ya kwamba serikali wawe macho, watuangalie kwa sababu wanatujua. Wanatuelewa wakati tulitolewa na Lake Baringo mpaka tumeondoka.
A report by the Ministry of the East African Community, Arid and Semi-Arid Lands and Regional Development indicates that Marsabit, Turkana, Baringo, Samburu, Wajir, Garissa, Tana River, Kilifi, Kwale, Taita Taveta, Mandera, Narok and Isiolo counties are likely to experience life-threatening floods, while landslides expected in Elgeyo Marakwet and West Pokot counties. As part of its preparedness, Baringo County has established a 24-hour call center that will serve as the nerve center for receiving and disseminating information to ensure timely response in case of a disaster.
For the last 1 month, as a county, through the directorate, we've been able to provide advisories to various stakeholders, including the communities, the institutions that are within us, for the health facilities. So we have tried to provide a proper and adequate advisory to cushion our communities, to cushion our institutions on the aftermath of the El Nino rains. Through our emergency fund kitty that is provided under PFM Act, we have been able to set aside over 20 million shilling that will go a long way in terms of supporting us in alleviating the effect of these floods that are one of the common hazards in relation to the heavy rain or enhanced rain.
Going forward, counties' infrastructure will now be put to test in determining the level of preparedness in mitigating the heavy downpour through their prevention of loss and damage. Ruth Sarmoi, NTV in the county of Nakuru.